So as the title would suggest, I got Mealybugs. A few weeks ago, D33G commented on my Hoya pubicalyx Royal Hawaiian Purple video, mentioning that it looked like I had mealybugs on my plant. And I was very grateful that she did. Firstly, because with my diabetic retinopathy, I probably wouldn't have noticed unless my eyeballs were right up in the plant. But also because I've never dealt with mealybugs before, and I was actually kind of interested and excited in learning how to combat them. I've mentioned in my care videos that I haven't really had any infestations in my plants. Aside from the occasional spider mites and the endless barrage of fungus gnats, which are easily dealt with, I've never gone up against mealybugs or aphids or the more destructive bugs that can level your plant collection. To start off, what is a mealybug? Well, it's a small, white-scale insect that feeds on the juices inside of your plant. I'm not really sure how I got mealybugs, but they can come in from the outside. They can come in from your shoes and can come in from new plants that you've brought into your house. Sometimes they can even be dormant in plants waiting to strike when the plant isn't doing its hottest. And that's usually when you get mealybugs, when your plant isn't as healthy as it could be. They're creepy little things that look almost dusty and they can multiply rather quickly. So you want to make sure that you have a handle on mealybugs as soon as you see them. I had quite a few on my Hoya pubicalyx here, and when I took a look around at the rest of my plants, I also found them on a Hoya carnosa compacta. Now, in the past, this Hoya carnosa compacta is the only plant that I've had that has had mealybugs. When I first bought this, I noticed one mealybug on it, squished it, didn't really know what it was, killed it, and never saw another one. So I have a feeling that they were just laying dormant in this plant and waiting for it to not do so well. I had taken a cutting of it that was really just really sick and not doing well, but I put it back in with this plant just to kind of encourage it to do better, which it did. But I think the mealybugs attacked that sick cutting and just kind of spread from there. And this plant I had right beside my Hoya pubicalyx. Luckily, they were away from the rest of my collection, so pretty much all of my other plants, I don't think there was anything wrong with any of them. My Hoya carrii was also with them. I had the three of them kind of sitting off in one corner. But so far the carrii hasn't shown any signs of mealybugs, which is pretty nice. So how do you combat mealybugs? Well, as long as the infestation isn't huge, it's not too hard to treat your plants and rid them of these white little suckers. There are numerous methods you could use, from using neem oil or other store-bought insecticidal soaps like this one here. Simply spray down your plant with the soap, let it sit for a bit, and then rinse it off. Another method is to create your own pesticide. Here I'm adding some regular dish soap to a spray bottle, adding water, and a couple drops of organic peppermint oil. Now, you don't need the essential oil, and in fact, essential oils can be harmful to your plant if they're not organic, and unfortunately there's no governing body that regulates the production and marketing of essential oil. That's how Walmart can sell you an essential oil and say it's 100% pure, despite being 100% synthetic. You have to go through third-party researchers to really find which of the few companies that create these oils are really open about their production process and create genuinely pure oil. doTERRA is one of these companies, but I don't work for them. This isn't an essential oil ad or anything like that, but peppermint oil is really great for deterring insects and pests. You can even use it in the corners of your house to keep spiders and mice away, which I've done quite a lot because spiders literally terrify me. Anyway, I put a couple drops of that in with the water and the dish soap, and then I also sprayed the plants down, making sure to get a good soaking. It's a little more difficult with the Hoya carnosa compacta because it's got all of those crinkly leaves and those crevices. After they're well soaked up and they've sat for a bit, you can let the soap dry, or you can just give them a thorough washing, which is what I did. After that, set the infected plants aside. You want to put them somewhere where they're out of reach of the other plants that you have in your collection, and let them just dry out. Check on them every day. You might have to repeat the process if you see more bugs show up, but after a few weeks, if you've noticed that there are no more mealybugs and you're not seeing any more signs of them, they're ready for reintegration back into your plant society. It's relatively easy to combat mealybugs, especially if you catch the infestation in the early stages. I ended up not having to spray my plants down a second time. I did the first time use insecticidal soap, and then I used my own, homemade brand of it. but I guess the first time was enough to just kill the few bugs that I'd found. And today I've got 2 healthy plants, and the Hoya pubicalyx Royal Hawaiian Purple is actually growing quite a bit, so that's pretty good. Thanks again for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for similar content. On Mondays, I post videos about houseplants, and on Fridays, I also post videos about houseplants, and reading, writing, photography, art, and any other generic interests of mine. As always, you can find my social media links in the description below. Also, you can find links to H&H Games, the board game company I've helped create, and our debut board game, Season of Heroes. You can also find the Amazon links to my fantasy series, A Chronicle of Crowns. Thanks for watching, bye!